want to put a gate there because there's no way to, because I just see more problems there in the future. That's something I just want to bring up to you. We've had people, we had a meeting with the Cecil chiefs, Sean is the police chief, and Southbridge on our intercommunications and our problems, and it was very well and open, and Sean has been, and all the heads were very well communicating more. We're very, I'm going to give everybody a shout out on that because we are going to communicate better and be able to allocate our resources a lot better and have a lot better communication. And there's some issues coming up, but we'll bring that up. As part of what came out of that meeting.
It wasn't set up by us. I knew there was some confusion.
Yeah.
It was actually set up by Senator Solovay and Representative White's offices. So to be honest, I'm not sure who. I think the initial invitation came from Senator Solovay, and there was some confusion about who got invited.
Well, we're disappointed he wasn't invited. Enough said, we'll work it out.
No, we apologize.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, we were just as surprised when we showed up at the meeting. So.
Yeah. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay.
Okay, fire company number 2, Muse. Tony, are you here? There we go.
We've had 12 calls for the month, year-to-date 64. The breakdown of the calls was 2 vehicle accidents, 2 brush trash fires, 3 false alarms, 1 being at the Hilton Garden Inn, 1 wires down, 1 gas odor, 2 ambulance assists, and 1 junkyard brush fire. We provided mutual aid to South Fayette and to Cecil number 3. We received mutual aid for the big junkyard fire that we had on Swihart or Lenape Lane from Cecil number 1, number 3, McDonald, North Strabane, Cannonsburg, Midway, Mount Pleasant, South Fayette, Washington County Hazmat Team, Southbridge Ambulance, and Salvation Army. We've had 17 station hours on scene of emergencies, and man hours on scene was 104.5 hours. A few announcements I have. The chief and 1 other firefighter just got back this weekend from Dayton, Ohio. It's the biggest vehicle rescue class in the country, and there's instructors from all over the world. They cut up like 200 cars per day. It's really intense training. We usually send 2 guys every year to that. And that was this past weekend. And Memorial Day service is May 26th, 9 a.m. And we also had some groups come to the fire station. Our safety officer, Paul Smith, met with a couple groups of Girl Scouts wanting to know what goes on at the fire station, and he handled that. And other training we have coming up in June is Slippery Rock. That's it.
Hey, thank you, Tony. Talk amongst your members too and see what dates would be available for next month whenever we're in June, okay?
Okay.
And see what, next meeting in June, we'll see if we can set something up during that month for everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
In addition to the meeting with the fire departments, I'd like to suggest and plan for a meeting with the road workers. I think there might have been a meeting sometime, but I wasn't able to be there. And before that, it was a year ago. I think that we should meet with our road workers and speak to them when we're all together. I'm sorry, our public works personnel. So can we agree to have that meeting?
Yeah, if you can talk in June, we can go ahead and have a meeting with you.
For what, for the road workers?
Yeah,
Two both.
Pardon me?
Two both in June.
Perhaps, okay, perhaps.
Okay.
One other thing that I'd like to bring up is I'd like to consider our board to hire grant writers, or to hire a grant writer. There is money available for grants, and We don't have anyone that does anything. I don't know when, well, I think you, yeah, Andy, you applied for a grant for the soccer field, and that's all that's been done in the past year or longer.
And I did that on my own, Elizabeth, without
What?
spending any, I did that on my own without
That's
spending
what I
any
just said,
taxpayer
you did
money.
it.
I
Okay.
actually, is Shirley Burns?
Did you get anything?
Not in the last two.
I actually had just sent Shirley Burns an email, which I don't think she's here, and she hasn't responded yet. I don't know if she got it. I was interested in writing a grant for myself for Cecil Park. Unfortunately, I'm unable to attend the Parks and Rec meetings at 5:30. I just can never make that time. So I had asked her if I could sit down with her. I have experience writing.
There is grant money available for more than just parks and for more than just Cecil Park. As we consider Coleman Road and the reconstruction of Coleman Road, I wanted to say this, is there any city water at all on Coleman Road?
Yes,
What's this?
How
Just
far
past-
along is it?
just past the underpass.
Just past the
Yeah,
underpass?
there's a fire
Well,
program there, that's the
there
end
are
of it.
grants of $150,000 from the Marcellus Shell to extend the water lines, and that's something that maybe you all want to consider that we should do in your behalf. And is that of interest to you?
From the Marcellus Shale Coalition, or?
From the Marcellus Shell monies, there are grants.
It was part of the whole program when they set up the impact fees and everything.
Yeah, along with the impact fees, that's correct.
The legislation,
Is there an interest, how many people are here tonight from Coleman Road? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there an interest from any of you for city water? Okay, I just want to tell you the experience that we had with city water on 980. There were a number of people that were interested in it. It started out a number of years ago at $13,000 per home. Then it came down to $5,000 or $6,000. Then it came down to $3,000. And at $3,000 per home, we contacted the OCA, that's the Office of Consumer Advocates. And as a result of the work that the attorney did with us there, she's since retired. Her name is Diane Dustman. We were able to get city water not only for the 980 corridor, but for Vincennes Road and Swihart Road and Glass Hill Road, yeah, thank you, for $25 tap-in fee. So this is something that I think that we should look into. There is money available if there is an interest in it. You're not required to hook up, but there have to be a number of homes that are interested in it and maybe hook up immediately or in the near future. And it can be done. So if you're interested, we can talk about that a little later. But I would like to see us hire a grant writer, a professional grant writer. And can we had one maybe 3 years ago, and I think he charged, was it $1,000 or $2,000? Well, that might have been the total that he charged over a period of time, but it was $1,000 or $2,000 a month. Do you remember that, Dawn?
Yeah, I know it was moving now, there was a monthly retainer in addition to some preparation fee. I can dig that up and send that to the board just to refresh. if you want.
You can do what, Dawn?
I'll send the email for his engagement letter, what his fees were.
Okay, well, there are other people that do this, and I'd like to have it explored, and I'd like to have that. I make a motion now for the board to advertise
Let's
for,
just look into the prices.
well, that's what I'm saying, for grant writers, and to see what pricing we get. Let's advertise for them, or let's contact some grant writers. Can we do that? Can I make that motion now?
I think Dawn wants to get that information so we have an idea what we paid last time.
Let's see where we're at first before we go ahead and move forward.
Well, I don't think Supervisor Cowan's saying to hire somebody, she's just looking for resumes or somebody who might be interested.
Right?
I'm hesitant to put it out though before we know that this is something that we can do, because if we're asking for resumes of people, they may have an expectation that we're actually.
Please talk in the mic.
She said that if we put it out, there might be an expectation that we're going to do it. Well, I think that we should do whatever we can to get money for our taxpayers. And that's my...
Before We will look into it. Let's go and get the information first, and then let's see what we can find from there. And
Why do we have to wait, regardless of what was charged, regardless of what he charged, whether it was good or bad or indifferent? There are other people that we can find that are going to be willing to do it, and we just have to get pricing from them, what it's going to cost. And we can either do it or not do it. It's the same as with hiring. We put out ads to hire, but we're not obligated to hire, and we might or might not. So what's the problem?
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Yeah, is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been
And I
moved.
want to comment too, though, that legacy fund that was set up for 40% of that impact fee, that's what it's for. I don't know if you need a professional to be able to be successful in applying for it, but it is grants.
Right,
It's
it's
for
right.
all those environmental issues. John, you may be more familiar with it than I am. Can a layman through our township apply?
Well, I think they can, Tom. I don't think it's, but I think there's a certain specialty to any writer
Yes.
that asks for it. And I think also with this board, you always look at these specific grants. There's so many grants. It'd be nice to have somebody come to the board and say, do you want me to, these are the 50 grants that you might be applicable to the township. Do you want to look at those? Because that's what's hard, not knowing what's available. I know Andy's gone after some grants. There might be 50 more we're not even aware of that we should be going after.
Well,
But-
there are two right now that are coming up, and I think one is in June and July. And I think it's a $150,000 grant with, we have to provide 15% or 15, requires 15% from someone, I don't know who. But there's $150,000 for water and other infrastructure.
Yeah, a lot of them have matching amounts. Elizabeth, a lot of them do have matching amounts, exactly.
this wasn't
But it
matching.
depends on which grant it is,
It's not
and how much.
matching.
Some's matching, some's percentage match, you're right. It depends on what grant it is. So basically, the motion's been made to research and find out some of the people that write grants and find out how much they'll charge us, correct?
Right.
So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? So moved. Let's get on to the last fire department report here. Ed? Cecil number 3.
Good evening, everyone. This is our report for the month of April. We had 20 calls for the month of April, 10 of them in our own fire district, 1 assist to the emergency medical services, 1 vehicle accident, 2 utility lines down, 1 fire alarm activation, 1 carbon monoxide alarm activation, 3 brush fires, 1 residence flooding due to a water line break. We assisted Cecil number 1 4 times. 1 was a fire alarm activation and 3 were minor structure fires. We assisted Cecil 2 4 occasions, 3 fire alarms and 1 brush fire. We assisted Mount Pleasant Township once for assistance with their emergency medical services provider. And we assisted South Fayette Township with a brush fire, 1 occasion. So that brings us to 90 calls for the year. We had 156.5 man-hours for spent in service calls and an average men per call of 8.3. Our steak dinner that we had here a couple of Sundays ago was pretty successful, about 145 dinners sold. We have some, as the other fire companies mentioned, a lot of training activities coming up over the summer months and into the fall. And we're also planning our carnival, which is going to be the last week of July, ending with the parade on August the 2nd. So we'll be in touch with the chief to get all that stuff straightened out. That's about it.